Welcome to this chapter of our entrepreneur course. This one is enormous, and so we're not going to go that deep and we're not going to go that broad. This is really just another iceberg and another tip. In this chapter, we're talking about marketing. And marketing is so complex that there are actually 4-year degrees at university just on a few streams of marketing. So you can imagine to consider the entire marketing component of your business as being this very elaborate lifelong journey to navigate what's best for you. You will not ever know all things about marketing, and most people get tripped up on marketing and they don't know exactly how to break it down to decide what in the field of marketing am I struggling with, because there are different avenues of it. So let's break that down a little so you know what you're strong in, where your strengths lie, where your business brilliance is, and perhaps areas that require attention. So if you think about your SWOT, marketing might be something that you're super strong and you see many opportunities in, or it might be something that you feel like you need to tend to. You need to focus on, you need to outsource, you need to partner and collaborate. So let's break down what marketing is for your business. So what is marketing? Marketing positions products or service in the marketplace to drive profitable customer actions. That's what marketing is. It is designed to get people to spend money, right? So if you are doing marketing well in your business, people are spending money. Now, when we break down the 4 P's of marketing, you might be able to discern already, ooh, I'm strong in that, or I know I need support in this one. So let's see what the 4 P's of marketing are. The first one is product. This is what you sell, either a good or a service. The price is the second P. And this is determined by understanding the intersection of what is a fair price based on the cost to produce it, plus the desired profit margin, and what people are willing to pay. The 4th P is place. This is where the product can be found. Is it online? Is it in stores? Is it in certain geographic locations? So for example, if you sell beach towels, are you selling them by the beach? Or are you selling them in the office tower gift shop in downtown of your city, right? Very different placements of your products will determine the outcome. I can imagine more people, would want beach towels near the beach. Now, it doesn't mean you can't sell them in the office tower, but placement makes a difference. And the 4th P is promotion. This explores what channels will be used to promote the product and the message used to communicate the value and the benefits of the product. So when we think about marketing, we want to think about those 4 P's. Now, we know if you have a product or service, we've already gone through that, and you know where you're selling. Right now, most people are selling online. Right? And if you're just starting out, chances are you are going to have an online presence. Even if you are selling something in person, even if you are, selling something, like homemade signs for people's houses, or you're making flower arrangements, or, making ceramic vases, you're still going to have an online presence because people can still find you that way, and they can get your hours and they can see your pricing points and all of that sort of thing. So most people are online, even if there's an in-person component. And of course, pricing, which we will get to shortly. But when we talk about marketing, the very first things I want us to think about is marketing in the modern era, because things that worked 10, 20, 30 years ago might not be relevant anymore. And when I'm filming this, we are still, 150 days into the coronavirus, the COVID-19 virus. And so nothing is the same. In all honesty, everybody's business has been upended and everyone is figuring out new ways to market, new ways to get in front of their customers, new ways to introduce their products or services to new people. So we are really looking at marketing in the modern era as being the way we need to be looking forward. Now, you might have your tried and true strategies from before, and if they are working for you in your market with your audience, by all means, continue that. Continue that. But as the world is shifting globally and right down to your neighborhood, while everything is shifting, it's important to see what's out there. So we're not going to spotlight on the way it used to be or the way it was. I want us to look at the whole picture of what marketing in the modern era looks like, so you can say, are there new strategies I can try? Are there new techniques I can introduce into my marketing calendar and see if this is a way that I can extend my reach and grow my business? So the first type of marketing that I want to cover is content marketing. And this is creating useful and relevant content which helps educate and empower your audience, establishes you as an authority in problems and solutions, and illustrates how they can use your solution to solve their problems. So content marketing really is things like blogging, website content, any kind of written content. Number 2, email marketing. This is building, growing, and maintaining an email list where people provide their email address in exchange for content, promotion information, priority notifications for sales or specials, or requests for feedback. Number 3 is social media marketing. So this subspecialty grew with the explosion of social media, and it's best for building brand awareness, nurturing community, and growing your reach. So getting your expertise and your content, your brand, and your products in front of people all over the world. Think about Facebook. You might be selling your book to people in Uganda and Turkey and China and Australia. You would never have a book tour that would take you to all of these places, but with a matter of a few clicks, somebody in a distant land you may never see or visit can purchase your product or your service. That's the power of social media marketing. Boundaries and borders have all but disappeared in many categories. Now, of course, there are governments in the world that control access to information. They don't allow people to buy from outside sources. Yes. But you are also able to find ways to use social media to get your products and services to people you would never normally find. And that's the power of social media marketing. Online video marketing. So this is using video to share content, demonstrate your product or service, showcase how it can be used, get testimonials for people using your solution. So you can actually put up a video of somebody using your solution or talking about your solution, and that would go under online video marketing. The 5th way is pay-per-click advertising. And in this case, it's when your company pays money to be featured at the top or near the top of results when someone searches on a keyword. So when you're thinking of Amazon, when you're thinking of Google, when you're thinking of Facebook, and somebody searches in dog groomers in Hartford, you can pay money to make sure that if somebody puts in those words, your business comes up first. Now, if there are a lot of dog groomers in Hartford who want to be featured first, the company, so Google or Facebook or Yelp or any of those companies, can charge you more because now there's multiple people fighting for that top spot. So it can get expensive. That's why knowing your business is really important, because then you can extrapolate what are the keywords that people who have the problem that I solve, what are the keywords that they use when they're searching? What are they looking for when they want to solve the issue, when they want to go online and end their suffering? What are they looking for? Another one is search engine optimization, or SEO. This is when you determine the keywords that your audience uses to solve their problem, just like we just said, and you use those same words in your content, video, advertising, and promotions. you use their language and phraseology to help rank your website higher because of the matching keywords. So when you have a website, Dog Groomer of Hartford, and you have a lot of the keywords in there that your clients use, when Google searches your site to rank it in their search results, if you have a lot of the same keywords that your client is using, you will rank higher, because Google's job is to get people the right information fast. So if you are using the language that your clients are using, Google will see that as a very good match and provide your result near the top, right? Underneath just the people who are paying. So that's why SEO and search engine optimization keywords are really critical. And there are dozens of companies that you can use either for free or to pay, and they will help you figure out the keywords that make sense for your market and your product or service. Because this is really a very easy and clean way to align your business with the solution that people are searching for. Right? So SEO is, you're going to hear that a lot if you haven't already. And another modern era marketing strategy is to really use public relations. So this is where you manage perceptions and relationships, ensuring people think positively about your brand. Now, you can't always control what people think about your brand. Perhaps you sold something. Actually, I'll give you an example of something I saw today. So I was online today and somebody had sold a bodysuit. It was a bright neon yellow bodysuit made out of lace, and it was, straps like the shirt I'm wearing, bright yellow, and it was body fitting, and it went down like a bathing suit. And you could wear like a tutu on top of it or some other kind of skirt on top of it, but the bodysuit was this bright yellow lace product. And the woman sold it, somebody bought it, and 3 weeks after she bought it, she put a review on Yelp that said the bodysuit came and the lace was torn and it was substandard quality and it was terrible, and she got a scathing review. So this woman had said, "What do I do?" And all of the results that were coming through this Facebook post was, step up, send her a new one, do the right thing, even if it costs you money, because her ability to impact people and tell them not to buy your product is way more than the cost of you sending out another bodysuit. So as the story unfolded, the woman contacted the customer. She agreed that she would send out another one. The woman wanted a different color. And so the woman had said, "Sure, no problem, I will send it to you. Please, let me know, and I'm gonna send you the care instructions again. And I wanna tell you that these bodysuits need to be washed in, the delicate underwear bag, the mesh bag. And if you don't have one, I'm sending you one. Because if you are just washing this lace in the washing machine and it's bouncing around with jeans and zippers, it can be damaged." And the woman said, "Oh, I didn't read the care instructions." So by her own admission, she did not wash the product the way it was supposed to. And the owner of the business said most likely she threw it in with her jeans and it got snagged and the lace ripped. And it's hard for me to send a brand new bodysuit in a different color, no less. So that just even makes me think that the woman didn't like yellow, or it didn't look good on her and she didn't want to return it. She's like, "I have a lot of feelings about that, but my main purpose is to make her happy." So if somebody goes, to a party and sees this woman in this red bodysuit and she's like, "Wow, where'd you get that?" And she's like, "Oh my God, let me tell you the story. I had a yellow one, I wasn't very careful, or it ripped, or my nails ripped it, or it came ripped," whatever the story. "But I contacted the woman who owns the business. She sent me a brand new red one. Isn't this fabulous?" And the woman might say, "Oh, I want one like that. Do you think she has them in blue?" Right? And so now you've taken something that could have been a very tricky situation and you've empowered that customer to speak positively about you. That's the power of PR, right? That is what you may hire firms to do for you, but this is a very small example of how public relations is now in the hands of the business owners. We don't live in a time where you need to hire massive PR firms because there's only 5 massive companies to represent. No, we are all our own PR firms. So I want you to think about how are the ways that you can put your positive brand image, your brand identity, and your purpose, vision, values, and mission out into the world through your product stories so that you can be marketing all the time. There's a phrase, always be marketing. Always be marketing. ABM, ABM, ABM. If you're talking to someone at a networking party, if you're at the grocery store, if you're, picking up your dog from the vet, you can always be marketing. If someone's like, wow, I love your backpack. I love the design. Oh, thank you. I embroidered it myself. I have a small business that does embroidery. Wow, do you think you could put my logo on a bag? I would love to do that. Yes, of course. Here is my website. There's pricing. And, for first time people, I will offer, you can get 5 bags for free or whatever, or orders over $250. I can do X, Y, Z, right? And they're like, wow, this is awesome. And you went to pick up your dog at the vet. Always be marketing. The last marketing in the modern era is influencer marketing. So we mentioned this a little bit earlier when we were talking about brands. And this is when you have popular people with a given niche shout out about your product. So if you have a celebrity reading your book or wearing your dresses or using your lipstick or, using your hair ties, and there's a picture of a celebrity with their hair all beautiful with your ribbons, that's influencer marketing, right? And hopefully they tag you in it. And if not, you can say, oh my gosh, look at this celebrity wearing my dress or, eating at my restaurant. This is like the greatest day. My products are good for everybody. And so people will be like, wow, if it's good enough for that celebrity or that politician or that person, I want to check it out because we have FOMO. We don't want to miss out, right? So influencer marketing works that way, which is how, there are celebrities who get paid tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of dollars to hold up products or drink a sip of something or eat something or wear something because it works, because their millions of followers will want that thing. They will want the dress that, Meghan Markle wore. They will want the drink that Chrissy Teigen is drinking, or they'll want the shoes that somebody else is wearing, right? They will do that and they will find the products to buy them to have a little bit of that magic. So if that's a way that you want to go with your business or offer, by all means, that's an option for you. Marketing in the modern era. So a couple of the questions that we have to ask when we are going through the marketing category, which remember, I told you could be a lifetime of learning. But when I want you to think now about is your business and who do you want to reach? Who do you know wants the product or service that you're offering? And what do you want them to do when they find out about you, right? So if they have a problem, what do you want them to do to get to your solution? That is part of your marketing. That is part of you putting yourself out there and allowing people to come into your space and say, oh, I need to download this. I need to sign up for this. I need to make a call. I need to go on a website. I need to go to this store. Marketing actually helps people make the decision to make the investment. So what do you want them to do when they hear about you? And can you use your marketing to encourage them to take those actions? If you want them to go to your website, can you encourage them by offering them like this really great freebie that they get to download, right? So they get a free product or a free gift for going into your website and getting the thing. Are you offering courses and you have a bonus if people sign up quickly, right? So that they're like, oh, I want to be encouraged to do this quickly because I want the bonus, whatever that is. And then the last question is, how can you measure your marketing efforts, right? You won't always get a cause and effect, an action and a consequence in the moment, right? Some businesses are like that. Some businesses are very much like, I am at a farmer's market, I am selling, my hand blended teas or my homemade jam. You come, you buy it, and you leave, right? That is a very clear-cut transaction. But some businesses are really about messaging and growth in a slower way. So people hear about it and then they have to grow in trust. And I don't know, do I want to invest in these new shoes? Like imagine when the shoes came out that were like little feet, where each toe goes in, and that did not just go on the market and everybody sold it. People were like, I need to see this for a second. I need to think about this for a moment. I need to decide if I want to wear shoes that are like webbed feet and they go in between my toes. Like I want to see a video of somebody, like how do they walk? Is it different? Does it change anything? Can they run? Like there was a lot of wondering before a purchase happened, right? Versus the coffee maker. If you remember in the Business Brilliance course, we talked about the coffee maker that had the timer. That's a no-brainer. People are like, oh my gosh, I need that right now. You don't have to encourage me at all. I do not want to get up in the cold morning in the chilly kitchen and make coffee. I want to set a timer at night and have the coffee made so when I come down, coffee is ready, right? So that did not need a lot of encouragement, but other products do. So how can you measure your efforts when you might have a marketing strategy that takes a little bit longer? Right? If people are a little bit more nervous, if your product or offer is more expensive, it might take people a little bit more time to save up the money or to really be sure that this is an investment they want to make, right? So I want you to think about some of these marketing questions, and there will be some more work in your worksheet just about marketing your business, right? Because once you know your business brilliance and you know what product and service you're offering, marketing becomes a massive commitment to growing your reach and deepening your relationships with your clients and prospective clients, right? Marketing is you sharing your value in lots of different ways, in lots of different avenues, right? In person, on video, in blogs, on podcasts, in interviews, in advertising, right? So many things you have to consider, but they're not all gonna fit every business, right? They're not all going to fit every business. So, I think of this example. There are many plumbers in our area, right? As in many major cities, there's many plumbers. And the plumber here that many people call have this truck fleet. And on the side of the panel where the driver's door is, it is a cartoon image of a person on a toilet. So you've got the driver and he looks out at the car beside him and it looks like he's sitting on a toilet. There are pictures of that everywhere. And so people think of that company when they need a plumber, right? When their toilet is clogged or they're moving and renovating a bathroom from one space to another space, they're like, oh my gosh, I totally need that plumber, right? He isn't on social media screaming out about his amazing plumbing all the time. They are just driving around and doing paper advertising with that image, right? It's absolutely brilliant. Their competitors are on the radio. So it's like, okay, which one is working? I'd have to call them both and ask them how they're both doing, right? But they both have their own unique spin on the one thing. One of them is very visual and one of them is auditory, right? They decide, just like you get to decide your marketing strategies. But I want you to think, what fits my business brilliance? What fits my personality? Where do I want my business to be going? How fast do I want to scale? How much time, energy, and money do I want to invest in my business growth? All of that determines your marketing. And then when you have some of those answers, it's only at that time that you start plotting out in your marketing calendar. When are you going to announce things? How are you going to share information? How often will you blog? Are you starting a podcast? Are you going to do interviews? Are you just going to be in-person farmers markets, or are you going to be advertising, with a referral program? Once you have some of those things, your marketing plan will kind of lay itself out for you, and then we go to the next phase. So I will see you in the next video.